lights went down, when you feel lost in your shadow. Don't feel alone, don't scream so loud. We are living in this cruel world. Broken but strong, gotta move.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, I just want to provide a quick update between updates. I did get version 11.3.6 in my car on Sunday, Easter Sunday. The beta team has been pushing out these updates quite regularly. I apologize to everybody who's not getting them. Obviously, I have no need to apologize on behalf of the Tesla team, but I don't know why I'm getting them, and I'm just going to say that there's other people that probably deserve it more than me. But I'm very honored and happy to be in the OG group now. I did receive the first, I think the first time I started receiving updates faster than other people was when 10.69.25.2 came out, which is about 2 months ago. And then last month when version 11.3.1 dropped, that's when I got added in as well, quite early on. So I've been getting the updates a lot sooner than others. I will say that with the latest version, before I post my video, just based on driving for about 230 miles total over the past 3 days, I will say that it is about the same as before. So I have not noticed any substantial big differences. No noticeable improvements, and it's hard over the course of 3 days, and I always am upfront about this with people because there's a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people that are just boasting amazing new features and amazing new maneuverability, and they go on and on about how it's way better, and I think they're just trying to get clicks. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not about drama. I do kind of dramatize my channel a little bit with fancy thumbnails, maybe the catchy titles, but hey, that's all for fun, and that's the whole reason I do this channel in the first place. So while I do appreciate everybody's support, I'm not depending on it. I do this because I enjoy testing beta software. But I just want to say really quick before I post my video, which should be later tonight. I'm at the gym right now. I'm about to head in there. I just want to point out the fact that there have not been any major improvements or developments that I've observed, and the approach that I've been taking is to try to be as analytical as I can while I'm driving. Now, I've opted to do voiceovers recently because I feel that I can be a little bit more informative in the process and analytical, and I can provide better information after reviewing the drive. And it also makes it easier because I'm not in the moment freaking out about traffic or annoyed with someone honking at me behind me and so on and so forth. But I had some really great feedback from Meta and also from Wes, I think is his name, on Twitter, who thank you for reaching out. I'm really glad they found my channel. I don't know how they found my channel, but I just want to thank them for kind of asking me some questions that were really kind of generic, and it got me reflecting and thinking even more conclusively about my observations and kind of what I'd wanted to see from this latest version. And it wasn't until I was asked that question in particular, does it meet your expectations? And that really got me thinking quite a bit, and I appreciate Meta for asking me that, and then asking if it tick the box from a safety standpoint, from a comfort standpoint. So kind of putting some context around some things that I really don't talk about often enough. So I wanted to go over those really quickly. So from a comfort standpoint, beta has always been awkward, and I make that very clear in all my videos. It oftentimes needs intervention. In other words, you stepping on the accelerator to get it out of a unusually disruptive moment in traffic in particular. So like it'll hesitate going through a turn sometimes. Stop signs are also pretty awkward. You just don't want to be a nuisance to other people around you. So from that comfort standpoint, it's still the same as it was before. If you talk about safety, it's always been safe to me. I haven't felt that it's been unsafe, except for situations when it pulls in front of cars, when it's trying to make a left turn. Obviously, that's not safe. So those need to be worked on, and those are still issues in the latest version of beta 11.3.6, and I'll show that in the video later tonight, where it pulls in front of fast-moving cars. So that safety thing is still there. But as far as overall safety, I'm more afraid of people around me than I am of the car driving itself. I just think it's great that you can have the option to turn it on or off. It's not that I have to use the FSD beta features in my car. I can turn it off whenever I want. I have the choice to use it or to not use it. Now, that might sound privileged. It's like, oh, well, you're one of the top people that actually has it. And let's get even beyond that. Most people can't even afford a Tesla, let alone self-driving, especially at the prices it is today. So I recognize that this is a small percentage of people that this applies to. Now, I want to just make it clear, and I've mentioned this in previous videos as well, I do not have a lot of money. And I don't know that I ever will. Money has never been a huge goal of mine. I have never said to myself, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be wealthy. I've never said to myself that I'm going to retire early. Although recently I've been trying to convince myself that I can do that, although I know it would be a stretch. I've never really set concrete goals to make X number of dollars by this age, for example. So I'm not made of money, and I certainly didn't inherit any money. Everything that I've been able to earn has been through my own work, my own sweat and labor. So it's my own work and effort that has allowed me to get where I am today. And a lot of it is also due to investments. What were your expectations was the other question. I thought that was really fascinating because I never really give that much thought. And the reason I say that is because I haven't had any expectations for these releases. And the part of the problem has been I report issues repeatedly in the same spots for months on end, and I never get any resolution. So I don't know if it's just a lack of focus on the Chicago area at the moment. I mean, if it is, that's fine. I get it. There's other areas maybe that are higher priority. But it's just discouraging, I should say. Not disappointing, but discouraging that the feedback I provide is not making its way to development. And I understand, a neural net it just doesn't do everything on its own. You have to be able to process that input correctly. There needs to be frameworks in place to be able to process feedback loops and information that a user provides. So Tesla gives us a great opportunity to provide that feedback. And it happens automatically. Even if you're not providing feedback through the car, if you step on the brake, that is an event that gets triggered as a disengagement. And that feedback goes back to Tesla. So they're using that feedback, but I have not seen them using it. I have not witnessed iterative improvements throughout these versions. In fact, they've all been minor tweaks to biases as what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The biases are being tweaked constantly. So for example, when you make a turn, it might be smoother by 1%. Or if you brake, phantom braking, for example, it might not brake as abruptly as it did before. It might get over in the lane sooner than it used to before. I mean, those are the little minor things that, and sometimes that's a major thing. Like the lane getting over sooner in the lane was kind of a major thing because previously it would miss turns because it just wouldn't get over early enough. And there was one street right in my neighborhood. I filmed this from version 10.3 to 10.6, I think. It was quite a ways in before it got addressed. 6 months in before it started getting over earlier to make that turn. So there have been iterative improvements, but as far as my expectations go, I really haven't had too many expectations of where it should be because I take it as it comes. I mean, this is something that if you paid I paid $5,000 for full self-driving beta. That was back in 2019. And because it was after the car's purchase, I actually had to pay an extra $1,000. So now if you buy it, it's $12,000. Now I understand you can rent it out. You can basically pay $200 a month and use it that way. And if you're curious or wanting to try it out and you have never tested it, definitely try that route. But at the current price, it's just literally not worth it. And I think, especially if you review a lot of these videos, there's going to be areas where it's like, man, why is the car driving itself again? It's certainly not full self-driving. You need to provide a lot of input, and as far as interventions go and speed, increasing the speed, and you also need to make sure it doesn't get in accidents. And because of that extra awareness, driving with beta is actually more stressful than driving without beta. You have to recognize and realize that, because if you're thinking about, I'm going to buy it so I can sit back and the car will just take me there, not even close, not even close. Improvements, I really haven't noticed any. You'll see that later this evening. But overall, thanks for hanging in there with me, and I appreciate everybody's support as always. I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully do some live streaming. I'm not the most attractive person to look at on camera, so I'm not going to be like streaming as my prime thing, but maybe in the future I'll do that. I'm open to your feedback. I have a number of ideas here for future videos. I want to do more roundabouts. It's easy for me to do videos in my area, basically my suburbs area, than it is to go far away. So there's a roundabout that's pretty far. There's also U-turns. I could probably do U-turns more around here. Some unprotected lefts. I've had some thoughts about doing some more tests around children and dummy, well, not live children, but dummy children. Although I just can never make it look like a real child. That's part of the problem. It's a stuffed, it's like a blow-up dummy, and it's stationary. Like, I don't know if that... It shows up as a human, it shows up as a pedestrian, but it's just not a really valid test. What I would really like to do, if somebody has an idea on how to test this, let me know. I would really like to have a child or a real person or something, maybe not, okay, it can't be a real person, but have something that looks like a real person, and that's the challenge here, that comes out between two cars that are parked on the side of the road. If I can come up with a way to video something like that, then that would be kick-ass, because then we'd be able to measure the reaction time of the car. I could record it in 60 frames per second. I could record it 4K quality. We could get some really high resolution data on how long it takes for the cameras to see something versus react to it. That would be pretty cool. And I've never done that test before. And it's not an easy test to do. That's the problem. But open for ideas like that. Let me know what type of content you'd like to see. I would love to have some more videos of cars following mine as it drives to see if it's human or not. Maybe I'll do a series on that. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, that would be really fun. So similar to my income, I don't have a goal as far as I want to have this many subscribers or I want to have this many likes. I don't have any concrete goals for my YouTube channel. I know some people are trying to reach certain subscription limits, but I'm easygoing on this. So I want to follow what you guys want to do. Let's have fun together. So give me some great suggestions. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.